Visitor's Whisper, Chapter 1. A calm sea beat steadily and weakly against a golden sand shore. The sun radiated its life onto the world. This day was a good day. For the fisherman, many years ago, the wind had stopped speaking to him and the others. The land refused to respond. The nights were darker, and there were days of illness where clouds would become dark and attempt to hide the light. But this day was good. His haul was as much as he needed to be, no more, no less. Endless waters, I thank you for the bounty bestowed. To thank the waters was what his mama had told him to do, and he continued to do so, even though the drips that could be heard hadn't held meaning for years. The fisherman began to make his way back to his home, where his life partner and daughter awaited his return. Yet the sea did not allow it just yet. There on the path he had walked every day since he had first come to this edge of land, a gift awaited him. A pale, bulbous thing, unmoving, curled in on itself, able to fit easily onto the palm of his hand. Growths extruded from the thing, appendages like branches of a tree, but they were tapered and as pale as the rest of the carcass. Fitullah! Towards the carcass from the sea a hand reached. His own hand, the fisherman's hand. He lifted the carcass to his chest and swaddled it amongst the wraps of the garments he wore. This was a gift from the ocean, beyond the haul, and as such it should be treasured. There it stayed for the journey. As the fisherman entered his home, small hands grabbed his leg. "Papa!" "Little daughter!" the fisherman exclaimed with joviality, bringing her into his arms, carrying her as he had done since the start of her life. "My life's dearest, how fare you and your mother?" A woman sitting at a table then drew his attention to her with a smile that the fisherman could have stared at for eternity. "We have a guest," she said. Across the table from his life partner was a man, a brother from the house of the one deity. "Greetings, fisherman," he says. "How was the haul?" "Bountiful, by the sea's will," the fisherman replied. "I welcome your presence, brother, but by what reason do you come?" "The sickness that has plagued the land for many moons spreads," the brother answered. "A traveller passed by the settlement proper and spoke of a settlement far from here that had had life stricken from it." "An entire settlement?" as is what the traveller said. The fisherman's daughter played with the hair on her father's head, still resting in his arms. "I came merely to see that this home was still free of illness," the brother continued, standing up from the table, "and had it not been, ask the one deity for guidance." "I understand, brother." With a bow and not another word, the brother exited the house. "Papa!" the fisherman's daughter's light and melodic voice chirped into his ear. "What's that?" she asked, pointing to the lump in his garments. The fisherman pulled out the carcass from the sea for all three to see. "The ocean bestowed a gift upon me today." "Papa, it looks like a small white pig." It did resemble the livestock the farmer at the settlement proper kept, but different, as if a twisted form of the creature, made small and pulled to make it appear dangerous to touch. But it was not. The bare flesh was soft, and it soothed the mind to get lost in the intricacies of the existence of such a creature. How it would have moved were it still living, each growth moving independently as it made its way across the ocean floor. Or would it swim somehow? Perhaps the loss of its life. In its death, it lost the limbs that allowed the fish to swim. Maybe even they still... "Life partner, do you hunger?" The fisherman's wife returned the fisherman to the world of the waking. Forever his mind, as it was, would answer to her voice. "The day has been long and the ocean kind," she continued, "but the night comes and we must feed and rest." And that is what they did.